But in all honesty, I feel like a lot of the games they produce for the Wii U are pretty quality ports. And I don't feel the same way a lot of these other people do as far as hating on Ubisoft. But, I mean, you know, they've been giving a lot of people really don't like them right now as far as Nintendo fans. Like, they're talking about ditching Wii U in terms of the mature content, and not even just that, but they're trying to say, like, that mature-rated games aren't, like, there's not a market for them on Wii U. I mean, they've said some pretty strong words in terms of, like, trying to describe Nintendo fans in terms of the Wii U, in terms of, like, all the games they put on the Wii U. And Nintendo fans have had a lot of strong things to say about them in terms of the quality of the titles that they've been releasing and the ports and everything that's on the Wii U. I mean, just in terms of that, I honestly feel like Watch Dogs U is going to be something that everybody skips. I don't think it's going to sell anything on Wii U.
Yeah, and yeah, you can always probably put the blame on Nintendo at some point, but ultimately I think it's Ubisoft for, first of all, they delayed the game, and then they went minimal on...
Isn't that typical, though? I mean, isn't that typical? I mean, Ubisoft will bring these games out for the Nintendo, but they'll always, like, omit a feature or leave out DLC.
Lowest common denominator type of thing.
You're right. There's always something missing or something fucked up about the Nintendo version. Like, we had to wait 6 months for the Wii U version of Watch Dogs, or we didn't get DLC with, like, Assassin's Creed 4, we didn't get... You know what I mean? Like, there's always something. Like, there's always something.
Mm-hmm. I will say this, I mean, I remember that, I think it was before Watch Dogs came out, I think it was on, maybe it might have been on the eShop page, they were talking about that it sounds like DLC actually is coming to Watch Dogs, which I wasn't
I heard about this too. Like, it's probably going to get the DLC, which is weird.
Did they do that? Was it a mistake, or was it actually coming? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's the state of that right now.
I think that they worked on it. I think that while they were working on the title, I think it's Bucharest or whatever it was. Ubisoft Bucharest. I think that they had been working on the DLC as well, as far as making it compatible with the Wii U. It's something that they probably had already invested in, and probably the reason why we got the 6-month delay is that the Wii U version probably wasn't up to par. It probably was, like, stuttering because they hadn't, like, figured out the system enough. Like, the frame rate wasn't steady, it wasn't stable. Like, I imagine that a lot of this stuff is influencing the release of Watch Dogs on Wii U. I mean, to get a 7.5, though, from Sean after having talked so much shit about Ubisoft, that says a lot, doesn't it? You know what I mean? That says a lot about the quality of this game in terms of it's not as bad as everybody's thinking it was gonna be. Because we all thought it was gonna be a complete fucking, like, nightmare. Because Watch Dogs already was a nightmare for Ubisoft this year. Like, it was probably, like, their least popular game ever, dude, and it was supposed to be, like, the next step and shit. Everybody fucking blew off Watch Dogs, man. They all talk shit about it.
It sounded like it wanted to be kind of what Assassin's Creed has become now, and now they're starting to wonder,
Dude.
Maybe we should kind of rethink this before we move forward.
Right? Like, they're not gonna make another fucking... I mean, they're not gonna make another one. Right? Like, they're not going to see another Watch Dogs. This shit is done.
No,
like, they're going to try and invent something new, like a new franchise. Like, Watch Dogs is going to be one of those things that we all remember but have forgotten kind of thing. Like, I don't know. It just feels like that to me.
I think we will see another Watch Dogs. But I think it's going to be kind of like how Assassin's Creed turned out. The original Assassin's Creed, which I played, was actually a pretty good game, but it was very repetitive, and there wasn't a lot of variety in missions and stuff like that, which is kind of some of the same stuff that I've been hearing with Watch Dogs. Yeah. So perhaps what they can do is, for a possible sequel, is, add in more variety and basically Assassin's Creedify, Watch Dogs, I guess, in terms of content.
No, we don't want that, because I've heard about the new Assassin's Creed with all the DLC, treasure chests and shit. Fuck that! I don't want the fucking Assassin's Creed Watch Dogs. If Watch Dogs is anything like the new Assassin's Creed, everybody's gonna fucking hate it, apparently. Unity's been getting a lot of shit lately, dude.
Yeah, a lot of people have been giving a lot of flack for Assassin's Creed Unity, but not the same for Assassin's Creed Rogue, which of course came out for PS3 and Xbox 360, the last gen consoles, which is also going to be coming out for PC sometime next year. I don't know when, but that's because we don't really know yet. But it's basically, what I've been reading about it, of course, Assassin's Creed Rogue, is that it's more like Assassin's Creed 4. So
yeah.
And,
I mean,
it basically expands on, you stole the pirates, but this time it's now, instead of assassins, you're now a Templar. Or
I think it's the Pirates theme, personally. I mean, I think the Pirates theme really goes...
is a big sell.
It is a huge sell. I think it, makes people enjoy playing Assassin's Creed, even though it's exactly the same fucking game it's always been. I feel like the pirate attachment to it makes a huge difference to people. And that's why people like Assassin's Creed 4, and nobody likes Assassin's Creed 3, and apparently nobody likes Assassin's Creed Unity, and apparently just Assassin's Creed is ass.
Do you think, and for example, Pirates of the Caribbean. You know why I like Pirates of the Caribbean? Because that fucking pirates in it. That was why I liked it.
Come on, though. We all like pirates. I mean, as grown adults, we as children, we all
use that.
Yeah, we all fantasize about being pirates as kids.
I mean, I know we're probably going way off topic on some of the stuff you were.
No, it doesn't matter.
I have to say, yeah, it doesn't. But one of the things I'm going to say is that I think people are right. I mean, I can understand why they wouldn't, but I think like an Assassin's Creed game in feudal Japan could probably be a very interesting take on it. You're playing the role of a samurai warrior.
That'd be awesome. I mean, come on though. It'd be a ninja. If it was going to be Assassin's Creed Japan, you'd be a ninja. You wouldn't be a fucking samurai. You'd be like a samurai that got dishonored or some shit and became a ninja. Ninja. That to me spells Assassin's Creed, and I've heard a lot of people talk about this over the years about how Assassin's Creed really needs to go Japanese and have a ninja fucking kind of theme in terms of its background and everything. Because I mean, the Japanese culture goes back thousands and thousands of years. They have recorded history for many, many thousands of years. They could do a great Assassin's Creed about Japan.
Mm-hmm.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, so I think
I think Assassin's Creed Unity fucking sucks, and apparently last gen people are in for a treat.
I like the idea of the French Revolution, but
hey, dude, I ain't got nothing against the French. I know COV is Canadian, or I don't think he's Canadian. I think he's from the Netherlands. I don't know. Some of these people.
He's from Newfoundland.
Yeah, I was gonna say some of the people we post with are Canadian though, and I ain't got nothing against Canada, dude. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing against Canada, I ain't got nothing against France, I ain't got nothing against French people, but to me, the French Revolution just seemed like not a very interesting place for me to want to visit interactively.
Well, and even Assassin's Creed 3 with the American Revolution, and I enjoyed Assassin's Creed 3.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. I mean, come on now. The American Revolution, I mean, appeals to the Americans. I know a lot of Americans probably would be more interested in experiencing the American Revolution in terms of an interactive environment than the people in France that want to experience the French Revolution. I don't think that's happening here in the States. I really feel like Unity is getting a lot of hate simply because of its theme and its content in terms of the French theme.
I mean, I will say this, that, maybe if they want to change it up a little bit, I mean, I think it was...
$5 says France gave fucking Unity 10 out of, 10.5 out of 10.
Yeah, or something like that. But I think, I seem to recall a rumor, a couple months ago, or a few months ago, that they're trying to bring Assassin's Creed into, World War II.
Oh, that would be awesome.
And I'm just thinking that could be an interesting take on it,
It'd be a lot more interesting than the French Revolution to me.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but maybe because I'm American.
But then I was also wondering, I don't even know, I'll be honest, and I'm sure this is the case with a lot of people, I don't even know if everyone's knowledge towards World War I is even as much as, let's say, World War II, but you could even probably have a game that takes place in World War I on top of World War II, or what have you.
I don't think they'll go back to the Americans, honestly. I think Ubisoft is going to be... In all honesty, I think the next one's going to be the Japanese one, the ones that the fans have been clamoring for, because I think Unity is getting so much flack from the fans. Not just the fans, but from the reviewers.
I haven't really been reading a whole lot of what people have been saying, but people saying that's technically it's not a. It has.
Dude, it's apparently the buggiest game originally released as far as a finished game. Like it's the most unfinished game that's been released as a finished game ever. Like as far as if you read the headlines go.
And how many people worked on this game? Like 1,000? I think it was something
like a fucking million people. I mean, compared to what some other titles have. I mean, come on.
No. I think that you have all these people that make this game. Granted, it's for 3 different platforms. You got PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. So you have 3 different platforms. And I'm just thinking, yes, it is a big game, no doubt. But you have 1,000 people, potentially? I mean, like I said, I don't know the exact figure, but let's say it's 1,000 people. They can't work out all the bugs. They can't work out all the glitches. They can't work out all the beta testing and playthroughs and, make sure things are actually working right. I don't get that.
It's the type of thing where I feel like these companies get bigger than themselves, and they think that these franchises, no matter what the quality is, they're going to sell. And it's like they can't fathom, oh my god, we put 3 fucking years into this game and it's still not finished. Honestly, when these people are putting these companies, they're putting these kind of money into these developers and these people, putting their trust in them in terms of investing so much money into these games, and they're still not finished by the time that the deadline is supposed to be. They're pressured. They're pressured to bring these games out, regardless of the fact that they're not. Hi, son. I love you.
And
close the door, please.
And another thing to go with that is deadlines.
Yeah, deadlines, pressure. I feel like these are all big factors. Deadlines. Right?
I was just to go along with that, I was reading an article about Shinnen. Shinnen had an interview with, I forget who it was with, but basically, there's asking questions about the games they make, and obviously Fast Racing Neo, which I am excited for, by the way, whenever it eventually comes out. And that was actually one of the things this interviewer asked. He said, when is Fast Racing Neo going to be released? And right now, there's no release date. Shinnen have not given a release date for it, and they say that it basically it allows them to work on the game at their own pace, and then they will put a release date out there when they feel like it's ready. So they don't feel pressured to get the game finished. They can actually work on it. And
that's the way ID is too, man. That's the way Carmack is.
One of the things that I forget the guy's name from Shinnen. Basically, he said that it's a very ambitious project for them. They say it's probably the toughest project they've ever made for themselves. And was trying to make it the best possible experience. And one of the things they're working on right now, they got a lot of the complex stuff, but now they're doing a lot of CPU optimizations, trying to get the game running at a stable 60 frames per second is what they're trying to do. And it just, you think about all the stuff they're trying to do, but they're also willing to also kind of tell us this stuff.
Yeah, right. They're not willing to tell us much. That's for sure.
They're telling us a lot more than what a lot of other developers do. But yes, they won't tell us about a release date, but I think it's because they don't want to put themselves in a position where, hey, now they have a date, so now they have to get this thing done. And they can just kind of work at their own pace. And actually, that's kind of what I've noticed with a lot of indie developers, is they don't usually put in place release dates or an actual date. They don't say, it's coming out November 1st.
Well, you realize the reason behind these dates, right? You know why they do this, right? They do it because of the pre-sales. The pre-sales is huge money.
Pre-sales is huge. Holidays, of course, that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, they want to target the holidays for sure.
Right, and obviously if you look at indie games, a lot of them are, almost all of them are digital. Some of them, yes, are retail, but most of them are digital. So, they don't have necessarily pre-sale stuff. I mean, I don't know. I know that obviously Nintendo has some pre-sale stuff going on with the eShop now, but I don't know if that's just for Nintendo games or if it's going to be expanded to third party. But I think, with a lot of these indie developers, they don't always put in play. I mean, yeah, some of them do, of course, but some of them, it seems like if they do put in a release date, they kind of put in maybe a general range not exactly an actual date. They'll probably say, well, it's going to be out in 2015, or it's going to be out in the
Right.
second quarter or first quarter. Which, honestly, it's kind of what Nintendo does a lot, too.
Yeah, right.
They say that Splatoon's